A very good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News on Friday, the 8th of November, with me, Iftia Abdul Qadir. Your major news stories first. The President declares open the Army headquarters at Akuregoda. Sajid Premadasa says poverty in the country will be totally eliminated. Gotabaya Rajapaksa claims that he has fulfilled the duties entrusted to him. Anura Kumara points out that it is they and none who possessed the national policy of building the country. And on news overseas, Trump is ordered to pay $2 million over charitable foundation. In your local news this evening, President Maithripala Sirisena has said that the task discharged by the armed forces and the police should come in for acclamation. The president made this observation joining in the opening of the Palavatta Akuregoda Army Headquarters in Akuregoda. The opening ceremony of the Army headquarters, consisting of the most modern facilities, took place this morning under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Construction work was launched on a 77-acre block of land in Akuregoda in the Palavatta area in the year 2011 with the intention of locating the Army, Navy and Air Force headquarters in one location. The estimated cost is 53.3 billion rupees. It is the largest building project complex to be implemented in Sri Lanka. It is also equipped with the most modern technology. As the commander of the forces, the president declared open the army headquarters and the office complex that has been completed as the first stage of the program. Officers of the army headquarters located in other places of the country will be soon brought to this location. The president awarded Seva Bimani medals to the officers of the armed forces and the police and service medals to the civil staff. It was followed by the presentation of a memento to the president by the army commander. Addressing the gathering present, President Maithripala Sirisena pointed out that the armed forces were discharging a magnificent service for the economic development and the development of physical resources of the country. The president said that since a hotel complex secured the land where the army headquarters located at Goalface Green, the army headquarters had to be evacuated. He was aware that many officers of the army headquarters were operating from several locations in the past 6 to 7 years. As such, the monthly rental that had to be paid for the various units of the army that were operating in different areas was more than 42 million rupees. The old army headquarters had to be shifted due to the changes that were being effected to suit the modern needs. The army headquarters needed buildings and modern technology for management and administration with all facilities. As such, they had to put up such a building complex, although it took a long time for its construction. President Maithripala Sirisena said that the armed forces were discharging a commendable service for the economic development and the development of physical resources of the country. He said that the dedications and services discharged by the armed forces and the police and the intelligence units with respect to national as well as regional security were noteworthy. He said that everyone was saddened due to the April 21st attacks, and it happened due to the mistakes of 2 or 3 persons. Everyone is aware that it could have been totally prevented. They are even saddened today due to the disaster that occurred on that day. If the necessary information was intimated to the defense forces on that day, there was an opportunity to totally avoid it. With such experiences, any such mistakes should be avoided in the future. The president said that he highly valued the services discharged by the forces with respect to the security of the country and the welfare of the public. He wished the required strength for the forces in the future to engage in such work. New Democratic Front presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa has said that poverty in the country will be totally eliminated within the next 5 years. He made this declaration joining in several public rallies in the country. A public rally to consolidate the victory of Sajid Premadasa was held in the Ahangama town in Habaradua. A large gathering including parliamentarians joined in the rally. National Democratic Front presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa said practical and pertinent solutions should be introduced to eliminate poverty. The Samurdhi program will be strengthened. According to a concept of former President Rana Singha Premadasa to combat poverty, the Jana Savya program will be launched anew. Sajid Premadasa said the youth will receive a standard education through 2 separate colleges in Habaradua and Imadua. Up-to-date knowledge of the digital technology, nanotechnology, biotechnology and computer science will be provided in addition to the teaching of the English language. When the younger generation seek business opportunities as the pioneers in digital technology, the technological garden will provide them with lands. He added that the initial costs of such innovative businesses will also be covered by the government. Meanwhile, another public rally organized to consolidate the victory of Sajid Premadasa was also held in the Akurasa town. It was joined by a large gathering. Sajid Premadasa said new technical colleges will be established in Akurasa at the divisional secretariat level. These colleges will provide the youth with the state-of-the-art technical knowledge. Sajid Premadasa pledged to begin 3 industrial zones in the divisional secretariat divisions. Direct foreign investments will be attracted and thousands of job opportunities will be generated. He said his policy statement will soon be distributed in the Akurasa area. Sajid Premadasa invited everyone to read his manifesto and join hands to create a prosperous nation. On to a headline-making story. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna presidential candidate has said that he had fulfilled the duties entrusted to him as a defense secretary, urban development secretary and an army officer. He emphasized that after assuming office as the president, he would not permit for terrorism to raise its head. Another in the series of rallies organized on behalf of the victory of Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the presidential election was held in the Kagala town. Parliamentarians Taraka Balasurya and Kanaka Herath had organized this public rally. It was joined by a large gathering including many parliamentarians. NLPP presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa said the intelligence services are vital for the security of a nation. Intelligence units of the tri-forces had rendered an invaluable service in the 30-year war against terrorism. Divisions to investigate terrorism and crime were utilized by the Rajapaksa government to subdue terrorism, underworld and illicit drug rings. The officers did their best for the nation, free from political influence. He pledged that an aspirant government led by him would build a secure and prosperous nation. Gotabaya Rajapaksa highlighted that he was always catered fully to the duties he was entrusted with, whether it be in the heat of the war or in his roles as the Defence Secretary and the Urban Development Secretary. Gotabaya Rajapaksa attested that he will surmount whatever the challenge he is confronted with. Anura Kumara Disanayaka, the presidential candidate of the National People's Power Movement, has said that it is they and none who possessed the national policy of building the country. Anura Kumara Disanayaka made this reference while addressing a public rally organized by the National People's Power Movement. The public meeting to consolidate his victory at the presidential election was held at the Pradesha Sabha grounds in Ambalantota. General Secretary of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Tilvin Silva, and a group of people's representatives participated in this public rally. Presidential candidate Anura Kumara Disanayaka said the only possible way to drag the country out of political quagmire is to drive the consensus of the people away from the main two political camps. He said each and every citizen should vote with courage and determination to change the direction of the nation for the betterment. PAFREL claims that there is a reduction of violent activities at this election in comparison to the 2015 presidential election. It pointed out that the most aggrieved party at this election is the government party. He made this revelation at a media conference in Colombo. PAFREL Executive Director Rohana Hettiarachi said 5,000 election observers have been allocated for the presidential election. He said that around 58,000 postal vote applications had been rejected. He remarked that the Elections Commission should take steps to prevent this in the future. Around 150 complaints had been received regarding the misuse of public property. However, the incidence of election-related violence has significantly decreased in contrast to the 2015 presidential election. He added that is remarkable how the government-related parties were victimized in most incidents. National organizer of PAFREL, Sujiva Gayanath, said 2 teams were allocated to monitor the behavior of social media in the face of the election. He apprehended that the counting of votes will be scantly complex this year with the introduction of the new preference system. National organizer of the PAFREL organization said around 150 to 200 observers will monitor the counting process. You're watching Prime TV News, and still on the local scene, Bodubala Sena General Secretary Venerable Galagoda Tenyana Thera and 2 police officers in Mullaitivu appeared before the Court of Appeal today. It is based on an allegation of contempt of court. Jnana Sarathera, the General Secretary of the Bodubala Sena movement, has been accused of failing to adhere to a court ruling against conducting the final rites of the Guru Kanda Rajamaha Vihara priest at the temple. The appeal court today issued notice for the Attorney General to appear and assist in the next hearing on February 17, 2020 in a contempt case filed against Galagoda Tenyana Sarathera and 3 others. During today's hearing, the BBS General Secretary and 2 police officers attached to the Mullaitivu division appeared before court as defendants in the case. A Chinese woman who possessed 7,600 cigarettes had been imposed a fine of 750,000 rupees. It is the highest fine imposed by the Colombo Fort Magistrate in recent history for such an offence. If the fine is not being paid, a simple sentence of 6 months imprisonment was ordered. Director of the Hambantota Hospital, Ravindra Abesurya, has said that letters have been directed to all nurses of the Hambantota General Hospital requesting them to immediately report for duty. These letters have been directed as more than 450 nurses had not reported for duty for 3 days. The nurses at the Hambantota General Hospital have kept away from their services from the 5th of this month due to a crisis in the hostel of the hospital. As such, several treatments of the hospital had come to a halt. The Hambantota District Secretary too have directed an immediate letter to the Health Secretary to look into the matter and take suitable action. However, the patients have accused that as a result of such actions, it is they who are undergoing difficulties. Now let's have a look at today's exchange rates. For more information, visit www.itnews.lk. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.